Okay, so as the today's topic is build, ship, deploy static website with a Docker, and before moving, we have few exciting announcements as well from CloudYuga. And before that, let me introduce myself. Okay, so my that's my nickname. My full name is Budaram Gurung, and my native place is in Nepal. Okay, and but I have been in India since the age of 4, since my father was in Indian Army, but now he's retired. And now I'm a full-time mentor, trainer, career coach. Okay, and my Dhanusar is the brand name that I'm going with. And now I'm currently serving as a mentor and director of training at CloudYuga, where CloudYuga is a, I would say that they are providing the right, the cloud training in the right way. Okay, and our founder is Nipendra Khare. He has extensive experience in the cloud domain. Okay, and my about my professional career, it's been around like this 15th. Okay, it will be in the next like probably like 1 week later I will complete my complete 12 years. Okay, so I worked in startup and MNCs like Red Hat. Okay, so that's my whole professional journey. Okay, so yeah, that's a quick intro. And yeah, now let's quickly jump into the topic. Okay, so uh, for those who are very new to DevOps and cloud space, okay, before this Docker or DevOps, okay, this word coined around like 2009-10. Okay, and these are like there has been a very traditional in the application development or deployment environment where we were using bare metals. Okay, complete bare metals, and then uh, either bare metal or we were using VM, virtual machines, to deploy our applications into the servers. Okay, and that the cost was very high. Okay, because for complete application you have to basically install a new OS altogether. Okay, and then around 2015 this technology came into picture, Docker, and this revolutionized the application or deployment space altogether. Why and how, we will see that in this session altogether. Basically, Docker is very fast in deployment. Okay, and very quick, very cheap as well. Okay, that we will see live in this session. So here in this session, okay, so we will basically uh, start with something. Let me show you a static website. So I'm checking where is that static website. Okay, so let me go through that static website. Okay, so there is a something called as online CV project. Okay, so this is basically some Jekyll theme, and this is how it looks like. Okay, so this is the online CV. So if you are planning to build your CV, this you can literally build it, okay, right now, and I will quickly show you that as well. Okay, so are you excited? Right, so just imagine that in the next 5 minutes or 10 minutes or half an hour, you can easily develop this kind of CV, which is also responsive. Guys, see this. Okay, which is also responsive. Okay, just imagine this. Okay, so this is like the next thing, right? So how we are going to build this? Okay, let me quickly show that. Okay, so right now, okay, I will fork this project. Okay, and then I will put here. Okay, and I will, instead of online CV, I will give name as web CV. Okay, and then I will fork it. And then it is as usual, this is Git and GitHub. Okay, for those who don't know, Git and GitHub, they are source code and version control system. Okay, and what is source code? Obviously this is source code, right? And version control, you can see these are the versions, at what point this particular developer has pushed the commit or add the changes to this project. Okay, for example, this is committed at February 12, and this developer has committed which changes, these changes. You can see, like, literally you can see what kind of changes this developer has added, right? And now it is available in my user, or in my organization. That's my organization. Dhanusar is my organization. And now what I will do is, okay, uh, basically what I will do, I will quickly set up a GitHub pages, or this is the demo of CI/CD of the GitHub. Okay, GitHub CI/CD. Okay, so this is the CI basically. Okay, and now I am quickly basically setting up the GitHub CI. Okay, set up GitHub CI. Okay, and then I'm committing the changes. Now somehow it gives this kind of a page not found, but actually it is running there. You can see this. Okay, now after like a minute or so, we will see our the same online CV running in my GitHub domain. Okay, that is my web CV. Okay, it will run like this. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so it will run like this in a few minutes. So in the meantime, when this CI is running its job, okay, let's quickly proceed to our main demo. Okay, now before this, I would like to explain what is this all about. Okay, so here what is happening here is, this is a component. Okay, this is our web CV. Okay, and then this is our web CV. Okay, our web CV local project. Just think of this, that you have built this CV locally. Okay, and now you want to share it, okay, or deploy it to the server. Okay, for the time being, we have a server. Think of this, we have a server here. Okay, server here, and now this server, I believe, basically is this server. Okay, I have another. Okay, so I have another same URL. Okay, this is hands-on lab. So I will talk about what CloudYuga do and whatever. Okay, I will later or during the progress of this session. But this is another student login. I am logged in as a student, where I have clicked the lab setup. Okay, you can see lab setup here. This is admin login. Okay, this is lab setup, and I have clicked the lab setup button here through the student login, and I am getting this lab. Okay, and this lab is basically, okay, uh, is a Ubuntu 20.04. Okay, and we will perform all our operation in this student lab basically. Okay, think of this as your own machine. Okay, and this instruction, all the instruction written here is also can be performed in your local machine. Okay, so this is your local machine. Think of this, and you have built your nice static website here. Now you need to deploy this to here. Now how this whole Docker scenario come into picture is, there is a something called as registry. Okay, so in our case, this is Docker Hub. Okay, in our case, this is Docker Hub. So that I will come into in next 5 to 10 minutes what this registry means. Okay, so that basically this is not happening directly. So I want my app to be deployed into the server, right? Now, how we are going when we use the Docker, we basically, okay, package something called as image. Okay, we package something called as Docker image. Okay, so we package something called as Docker, or more specific, app image. Okay, Docker app image. And then, okay, this we do in our machine as well, but I'm showing it here. Okay, or maybe if I show it here, okay, then probably it will be more better. Okay, here Docker image. Okay, and now this I will push it, this image I will push it here. Okay, this I will push it here. Now there is something called as CI/CD. Okay, we just we just saw CI/CD. Okay, let me check whether that is done or not. Yeah, that is done. Okay, that is done, and let's see our page is ready or not. Okay, our page, yeah, so our page is ready here. Okay, and wow, you can see, right? Okay, although the content are dummy, but our page is ready at my own domain, dhanusar.github.io/webcv. Can you imagine that? If you check this URL, it is live there. I can check in my mobile. But right now, this is not that useful because that's Alan Doy, not my name, right? And that's full stack developer. I am a DevOps engineer, right? So you have to just go to this data, okay, this data.yaml, and just update it. Okay, just update it. Here, Ram Gurung and sorry, okay, and DevOps engineer. Okay, and now definitely if I have some time, okay, definitely I will basically, you know, uh, uh, update all these things. Okay, let me update just few things. Okay, definitely I will update all these things, right? For example, this, right? Update all these things. Now just suppose that I've updated all my data, and now I'm changes committed, updated my info. Okay, and now I committed the changes. Okay, now once I commit the changes, what happened? CI will run. Now I mean, just imagine, like, it's happening automatically. I don't need to do anything. I don't need to tell anything that, hey GitHub, hey, take this, I have updated my web CV, take this and just deploy to the server. It is doing that job. Do you see this? It is doing that job. How? Okay, that come under GitHub CI. Basically, there is a CI setup by GitHub, and whenever any changes happen into my web CV repo, right, then that CI knows that there is some changes, and then he knows that he has to basically, okay, build this new stuff, and then he has to deploy. See, he is also deploying. GitHub CI is also deploying, and he is deploying to the probably GitHub page server. I hope you got it, right? Simple, no technical stuff I am doing here. Nothing, very simple language. Okay, so the GitHub CI is now completed, and now if I check my resume, Buddharam Gurung, DevOps engineer, Dhanusar, and whatever is updated. All fine, right? Now if you want to basically go more on this, you have to, you know, read all these things. This is an open source project. Okay, everything is here. Okay, just go through that and done. Now, okay, now we will basically get the static version of this one, which I have already built it in web CV static. Okay, I have got the static version here, web CV. Okay, this is the static version. I just got the static version. Okay, and this is Jekyll. Okay, this is Jekyll. This is Jekyll. Everything you can see, right? I mean, a lot of things are here, right? But if you see this, only this much content: index, HTML, and assets. That's it. Nothing else, right? And it has a lot of content. So this is only static content that we are deploying for our demo purpose. Okay. So now this has some other stuff that we will go through as part of our demo that I have created. Okay. And I hope that there are two things that I want you to understand here. Okay. What are the two things? There is a CI which takes this source code and deploy to server. Okay. You can see this. There is a CI in between which take this source code, okay, and then do some build thing, and then it deploy to the server. And exactly similar stuff we are doing here. Okay, this is CI. Okay, and then this CI will take the content here, and then it will deploy to our server. I hope you got the flow, right? Okay. So traditionally, one way is you take this static code and then deploy to the server, like you do in cPanel and whatever, that old technology, right? You do whatever, you take the source code like a zip or a folder itself, and then go to cPanel server and then upload it. That's a traditional or old. But here in the new fashion, the old DevOps or the cloud thing, okay, this is different now. Okay, now Docker is also replaced with something called as container technologies. Okay, there are many container technologies. Okay, that might be complex for you right now, so I will not name those. Okay, so I hope you got the point here. This is the static code. We will build the image. That image we will deploy or host or push to a registry, because this registry is public, and then this CI can access this registry, because this CI can't access this our machine. Like, guys, you need to understand, this CI can't access our machine. Okay, now that's why this CI, okay, will basically take the code from registry and then push it to the server. Okay, now the limitation of this demo is that we don't have CI set up right now. Okay, so what I will do is, I will think of this, I will spin another lab here in CloudYuga as an admin. Okay, and then I will use that as a server, something like that. Okay, so earlier I told you, right, when I click on setup, I will get something like this, and then we will see the demo right now. Okay, so till this is running, okay, it will take almost 60 to 90 seconds, nothing more than that. We will go through some of the content. Okay, I hope this will be available post our sessions, and there are like 2 hours of uh, free lab. You can also try this. Okay, for this whole session, okay, to continue or to there is a prerequisite. You need some Linux fundamentals. Okay, and then you need to have some basic shell knowledge. Okay, you can check our shell mastering course as well, and there is some Git or GitHub fundamental knowledge. Okay, so that's the shell course we have built. Okay, so please go through them as well. And now let's quickly set up the Docker in our student one. Okay, so don't confuse here, this is student one. Okay, the G1 is student. Yeah, so this is the demo that I want to show you, that once you click on that lab setup, this kind of lab environment will run. Okay, So we will pause this because this we will use as a CI, okay, or server. Basically, we don't have CI right now because okay, we'll directly do something in the server. Okay, so this is our server. Okay, we will just hold it right now, and we will work on this. This is our student. Think of this. This is your laptop. Okay, this is your machine. Okay, this is your machine. Okay, now let's proceed with our demo. Okay, I hope that font is very fine. Okay, now just we will quickly go through this. Okay, we need to Docker, definitely, right now, to get Docker in this lab environment. It's very quickly we need to sudo update and then install docker.io -y. I will basically click on this, and then it got pasted here. I will enter it, and then it will quickly run these updates or checks or whatever, and installation. Okay, and within a minute, okay, if you run it in your machine, in your home network, it might take some time. Okay, guys, so uh, please check with that. So here, this is like some cloud machine. Okay, so they have very nice internet, so that's why like my okay Docker installation happens so quick. Now to verify that Docker is running fine, Docker version. Okay, now it is version properly running. Okay, client version 20. Okay, so okay, now uh, let's okay, now if you suppose if you are not using this, okay, and you want to try it in your machine, then this is the setup. Okay, go to your official Docker, okay, website, and then as per your OS, whether it is Mac, whether it is Windows, whether it is Linux. So if you have Mac and Windows, then you get a Docker desktop. If you have a Linux, then there are more stuff here like flavor, like which flavor you want: Ubuntu, Debian, Fedora. You click on Ubuntu, and then you get lot of information. Okay, so you can basically choose whatever is your or version or your OS version. Okay, now Docker overview. Let's quickly go through this Docker. I'm talking about Docker a lot, right? So basically, it's a open platform for developing, shipping, and running application. Okay, so we are basically here. Mostly this we will, as I said earlier, that we will build a Docker image. When I said that, that means that we are mentioning the dependencies along with the Docker source code. Okay, and then we will be shipping that image to our servers. Okay, and then it will basically have the dependencies plus the application source code. Previously it was OS as well. Okay, so that time it was too much, because then my own OS version is different and the server OS is different, right? So that time it was a lot of issues, because server server had a lot of inbuilt packages that version might be different. Okay, so now Docker came into picture. They just build the respective dependencies of the application and the application source code, and then it basically ship it to the server. And then in the server itself you have a Docker, and then that Docker knows, okay, which application, which dependencies, and then they are happy. Okay, now quickly go through the architecture. This is client. Okay, when I say client, let me quickly, this is the client. Okay, when I run this Docker word here, okay, this is the client. Okay, this is the client. Okay, so this is this CLI is the client. And now I'm running a lot of commands: run, build, pull. Okay, when I run this, it basically uh, send the API to this Docker daemon, which is our server. Okay, that's a server running at our host. Okay, and then I will perform some of the images. Okay, build some of the images, and then out of the images I will run the container. Now what are those things we will see uh, after some time. Okay, and then you can see there is a registry here. Okay, and those we will see in a our demo itself. Okay, I hope that I am not fast. Okay, I am clear. Okay, let me quickly check the chat. Okay, great. So if you have anything, just let me know. Okay, yeah. So quickly go through the overview of this Docker daemon. Okay, it's basically the process running background and listening to the Docker APIs, which means Docker run, build, or pull, which whatever is client is sending to that daemon. Okay, it is just listen. For example, I run here. Okay, for example, I run Docker version. When I click it, then what happened? This client send API, okay, to Docker daemon. Okay, and then Docker daemon, okay, basically check. Okay, this is the version. Uh, okay, this is the version stuff that client has requested, asked for the version, and then Docker daemon basically pull out the version and then send it to the console. Simple. Same thing we just saw this registry. Okay, I will show you live. Okay, and then Docker image we will build in quickly. So Docker image is like a class. If you have done programming, then class is a skeleton, right, where you write what is variable, what is define the variables and all those things, right? And then what are the functions. Okay, an object can perform all you write in the Docker in the image, right, in the class, right? Similarly, in the Docker image we write those instructions. Okay, and container is basically a running instance. Okay, like a object in programming. Okay, so you create object from class. Similarly, the container is like that. It's a runnable instance. Docker file is a text file where we write instructions to build image. Okay, and there are a lot more. Okay, we will not go through due to the time constraint of the demo. This is the Docker file, example of a Docker file. This line says we need a base image. Okay, we need a base image. Sorry, we need a base image of node 16 Alpine 3 some. Okay, OS, there is a base image, and then run. Okay, run is command, running a basically make dir command is that instructions, and then copy the app, okay, into some this part is basically okay, this part is basically inside the container. Okay, so copy this folder present in the local directory where this Docker file is. Copy that app into the container slash home slash app directory. Okay, that is what its line says. And then work dir means, okay, set the working directory to this folder. Then run npm install means perform this command npm install, okay, inside the container. Okay, and then run server, perform this node server js.js inside the container. Okay, as in a container, and then this node command is coming from here, from this node basic. Okay, now let's quickly go through some of the basic commands. Okay, we have already seen Docker version, Docker build we will do, Docker pull, and Docker images. Let's perform this Docker images. Okay, here nothing we have. Run exec, okay, ps, Docker ps to list the container. We don't have anything. Okay, log network, stop. Okay, now for you to, okay, to play with some of the Docker commands, I have listed some of the commands, and this might look very complex, but I will quickly go through it so that you will understand the power of the Docker. Okay, let's see. So here list all images. Okay, we saw, and here now quickly running Docker pull Postgres. Okay, it's basically pulling the Postgres database. Just imagine installing Postgres in your laptop. How much time it will gonna take? Okay, if everything work fine, then it will take 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, if something come up in between, then it might take half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hour, depending on the error. Now if I do Docker images, I can see Postgres. Now see this latest tag. Okay, now I will copy this, okay, and then paste here and then run. Then it is again pulling the another different layer because there is a tag. Okay, there is a tag. So Postgres might have different version, right? Postgres can be of Alpine based, Debian based, Fedora based. Okay, so here there are two Postgres images. One is Alpine based. Okay, one is probably Debian based. And now I will try to, okay, yeah, I will try to run the container. Copying this, okay, paste it. So this will basically, what it does is Docker run and give some name to this container. Otherwise, Docker will give some random name, okay, and day Postgres, and then E, okay, some environment variable because we need to set password. I'm setting password here, and then D, okay, D is run this container in the background, okay, not foreground, in the background, and then Postgres, okay. So use this image. When I run it, it goes out, okay, and when I do Docker PS, you can see our Postgres is running. Okay, similarly, if I to run the container from this Alpine, we need to specify the tag here. You can see this, right? You can see Postgres colon 13.4 hyphen Alpine. I am setting the tag as well. And now I have two Postgres instances running. You can see this. Amazing, right? Just imagine in your laptop, you want to install two Postgres server. Is it possible? No, right? Okay, you can only run one Postgres in your laptop, but here I'm running two different instances. Now I can go to, okay, I can go to any of the container, running container. Running container is basically a new OS itself. For example, if I click Docker exec IT, I means interactive mode, T means terminal, give some terminal. Okay, and then Dev Postgres, which is the name of this Debian based Postgres. You can see this. Okay, and then run the command bash. I go here, and then if I see there is a Debian Linux there itself. Okay, now let's try to run some command. Su Postgres. Okay, there PSQL run here, and let me create some database quickly. Okay, database created, and okay, you are now using database Dhanu. Okay, and now create some table. I'm creating the table now. Okay, create table created /L to list the table. Okay, you can see Dhanu is there, Dhanu table is there. Okay, and now sorry, Dhanu database is there. Okay, okay, I need to update this, and now insert into user. Okay, here insert it, and then insert another record, insert it, and now if I want to see the user table content, I can see there are two records, right? Now to quit from this PSQL/Q, I hope you can revise. Okay, you can practice the PSQL, your labs. If you're a student, you can practice your lab, Postgres labs here, right? Okay, and then exit. Okay, and then another exit for container itself. Okay, and my container is still running. Okay, So that when you exit, it doesn't exit the container. And there are other stuff like you need to stop. Okay, then you can run docker stop. Okay, done. It is stop. Okay, now to see the, okay, this is the Alpine Postgres is stopped now, right? But if I want to see all the running and stop container, then I have to give flag -a. Then I can see status exited 17-second ago. Okay, and now to remove the Alpine Postgres, which I stopped it, okay, I can run rm. And now if I run -a with with the docker ps, that is gone because I have removed that container. I don't need that container now. Suppose I want to remove this container, running container as well, right? Then that time rm will not work because you have to basically use -flag f for forcefully removing the container. And now that is gone. Okay. Yeah, here you can see now that is also gone. Okay, so I hope these all are very clear cut instructions. And if you have any issues, then just let us know. Okay, now let's go through our actual demo, that is building the static website. Okay, so in the earlier, okay, our session, I have shown you where is that. Yes, okay, I have shown you this, right? And I have also told you that I have a repo website, a web cv static, where I have kept all those static version of this kind of thing, this kind of resume, right? So now, yeah, now this is the student one. Okay, this is the student one. Now this is basically all the thing listed here. You can quickly go through that. What I will do is I will basically copy this. Okay, I will copy this, clone this website web cv static repo here as a student in my local machine. Just think of this terminal as your local machine, static and web statics. Okay, I went enter into it, and then if I check the docker file, I have only two stuff. What is that two stuff? From Nginx. What it means? It Nginx. Let me quickly go through. Yeah, here. Okay. Let me quickly go through up.docker.com. Okay, and I will show you what is registry is all about. Okay, so this is registry. So I have logged in as a Dhanusar user. Okay, so this is registry, and now this registry has a lot of things. So if I say Ubuntu, then you can see you have Ubuntu image, Docker image, official Ubuntu Docker image, and they're like 1 billion downloads. Can you imagine? That's 1 billion download. Amazing. Okay, and now I'm using Nginx. Okay, this Nginx. Okay, so this is the Nginx. You can see that I am referring here. That take this Nginx, the base image, and then on top of it, add my folder .webcv. I have a folder webcv. Okay, let me, yeah, I have a folder webcv. Okay, and then yeah, then put it inside u/usr/share nginx html. Okay, now let me pull nginx first. Okay, let me pull nginx first. Or when you build this docker build -t, then it will pull that time. And now docker run, I will run the container it, and then nginx, and then sh. And now I am inside the Nginx. Okay, I am inside the Nginx etc, which is like Debian based. Okay, and now okay, so let me okay. Let me another terminal. Okay, web static cv and then docker file, usr share nginx, and then cd usr share html. Okay, usr. Okay, this sh is not giving nginx. Okay, so html. So basically this is where this is the content of nginx default stuff. You can see welcome to nginx. When you know deploy or when you start nginx, this kind of page comes up, right? So what we need is we need a folder here of our web cv, and then I will have my web page will be served properly. I hope you got the idea. Okay, that's why our build has this line: copy my web cv. Okay, this folder, copy my this folder, inside that usr share nginx. Okay, that line, so that it will basically so that the nginx will serve properly. Because if I place my html content inside the html, this html, then the nginx will know and will basically solve the content, right? So that's why this line is there. Now we need to copy this line, and now we will see the demo of the docker build. Now here it's very simple. Docker build -t is tag. We are giving the tag name, okay, so that it can be later referenced later. And then dot means where my docker file is. My docker file is here inside the current folder. When I run this, my docker image is built. That's the quicks, right? And now when I do docker images, I have all these things. Now there is a command docker rmi. Let me show you. Okay, there is a command docker rmi to remove one or more images, right? So I don't need this Postgres. Okay, and then this Postgres. Okay, I don't need these two Postgres. So let me quickly remove those. Okay, so I remove them, and now those are gone. Okay, I have now nginx and web cv. Okay, which are my concerned images, right? Now I have web cv here. Okay, my application image is ready. But now to test it whether this application image is running or not, I need to run the container out of it, right? So let me run the container. Same thing, very simple. Docker run -d is daemon mode, that is in the background. Here this p I am giving, and I need to update this to 30,000. Okay, this p, and then port is our host port. That is which port? Our host port, that is 30,000 that I am exposing. And then 80 is :80. That separator colon means this is host. Okay, at which port this application should run in host. And then 80 means nginx port, that the default nginx port. And then the image name, right? Run it, and then it's basically running now. And now since this is a VM, how can I access this? That's why for every lab in our CloudYuga, we have exposed these lab URLs, and these you can access it. Amazing, right, guys? You can see this page is accessible to you right now. Although the UI, it's a subdomain, okay, subdomain inside the CloudYuga. Okay, this is available to you. This you can access it. Okay, this is accessible. Okay, this is not the local one. This we just deployed it here, running it in the container, running into our machine, lab machine. Okay, and now this is accessible to you. Okay, I hope that you are getting it. Okay, now our we are able to run it in my local machine. So if you check in local machine, they will basically you will get something like this: localhost 88,000 sorry 30,000 in your localhost. If you run this, then you will get this kind of UI. Okay, now our one part is clear, that I am able to build application image, I am able to run it locally, right? The developer dilemma, guys, that if application runs in your machine, this doesn't mean that that same application will run in someone else's machine. Right? So you have to basically give for the testing or whatever. Okay, now our application image is ready. Now what we need to do is push. Okay, now but registry need some format, guys. Registry is not a random guy. You can see that they can take any application image. He needs a particular format. For that, okay, for that we need to have the log. We need to specify the the username where we are hosting this image. Okay, so now what I will do, I will login docker login. Okay, and Dhanu sir. Okay, and okay, I hope you are not able to see my password. Great, right? So docker login is successful. Okay, now just check this, guys. Check this, my profile. I don't have any repository right now. I don't have any repository, no repository right now. Okay, because I was lazy probably. Okay, putting any repository. Now what we need to do is, as I told you, that we need to tag our image, our local image. Right now if you see our image is, this is like this: web cv and nginx. Web cv is our main thing. Web cv has nothing, right? So we need to tag it as per the suitable for the uh, docker hub. Okay, so docker hub is public. Okay, so if I push any repository here, you can able to access it. It's similar to the github. Okay, now I am tagging it. Okay, I am tagging it docker hub. Okay, tag web cv v1, which is available in my machine. Okay, web cv v1, which is available which in my machine, right? We have built it just here, right? I hope you remember, we have built it here, web cv colon v1. We have built v1 version 1, and then tag it with my docker hub username, and then same name. Let me give the same name, tag it. This doesn't take any nothing, it just make the alias. Alias means it just add another name. That's it. It just nothing, do nothing. It just give another name. And now once it is done, I will push my image. Okay, I will push my image. Okay, if you are not logging docker login, then this push command will fail. Okay, so you have to do login first, docker login. Now if I push it, then you can see it is preparing, and then it is pushing, and after some time it will appear here. Not magic, guys, it's all technical stuff. Okay, it's pushing. You can see this pushed here. It says push, yay. And our, where is it, yeah, guys, web cv is available. You can also pull it. Okay, now this part is also done, right? This part is also done. Now we don't have, as I told you, right, I don't have cv. So I will basically I will try to directly pull it from here, from the server. Okay, I will directly pull the content from the server. Actually, this is the flow, but I will, since we don't have that right stuff here, right setup of the CI. Okay, so I will directly pull here and then show you that stuff, that I am able to use that image, this image, from some different server or local machine or someone else, right? So now this is job is done. Okay, and now what I will do is I will basically use this. Okay, I will basically use this. Okay, now if you are trying this demo, if you are trying this demo in your local machine, okay, in your local machine, then you have to remove this Dhanu sir web CV. Okay, I mean, you have to add your name definitely. Okay, so if you are trying this, you have to remove this, you have to remove this image. Okay, but right now I am trying in different machine here. Okay, you can see I have a different machine. Okay, being probably being a benefit of being the director of. Okay, so I am now, but this doesn't have the Docker, right? So let me quickly update the Docker, add the install the Docker. It's very easy in the lab environment like this, right? So I'm quickly adding the Docker here. Okay, so yeah, it's happening. Okay, okay, yeah, you can see that. I mean, the network in the cloud machines are very high. Okay, so that's why like all the enterprise customer companies are moving to cloud, or these things, right? So Docker version definitely, right? Yeah, our Docker is ready in another machine. Okay, now as per our instruction, okay, this one basically you just need to run this. Okay, let me copy this and another machine. Okay, run this where we don't have Docker image, no Docker images. Okay, no Docker images, and I am running this command. And now, since our Docker could not find this Dhanusar web CV v1, it is now pulling from where? Here we are right now. We are at this point now. We are here now. Okay. And now it is pulling the that web CV v1 from this Docker Hub registry. Okay. I hope you got it. You are not confusing. Okay. You can check this recording later on as well. And now our image is ready now, guys. If you have done programming, once you have a class, you are ready to run any object out of it, right? Our image is ready. I am ready to run any container out of it. Okay. Now our now you need to run it. Okay, sorry, the run. We actually run the command docker run. It simply means it is running the container. Okay, and it is running the container with the name of the container as webcv1 in the as a daemon mode, means background process, and then port number 30,001. Okay, this is different port. I showed the demo in 30,000 in the previous one. Okay, here this is different port. 80 is same because it is based on the Nginx. And then this image. Now if I check the container, it is running. Now guys, if I click on this one, I should get that CV, right? Great, guys. You can see our CV is running, right? Okay, our CV is running. These are all are also like working. Okay, these are all working. You can see, right? So this is running fine now. So imagine CI, whatever I did, right? Whatever the step I did, those manual step, that's the job of the CI. That's what you saw here. That's what you saw here. This step. That's what you saw here. This all this GitHub CI, right? Whatever manual step I did, That's the job of the CI. I hope you got the idea of what CI does. Okay, CI/CD, continuous integration and continuous deployment. This is what is happening here. Okay, so right now I just did manual stuff here, right? Okay, manual is boring, out fashion. Okay, so new stuff, automation, everything is automated. Now the last piece in our demo, what, Dhanu sir, I want to update my resume. How the flow look like? Very simple. Okay, how? So let's first try to update. So right now I can update many things, but what I'm doing is I am just updating my role as DevOps engineer to senior DevOps engineer. Okay, and this is the command that said it basically replace the DevOps engineer, okay, word with senior DevOps engineer inside the file web CV index. I told you before starting our demo, you have to understand, you have to have the knowledge of shell. Okay, so this is our web CV folder. Okay, and there we have a content index.html. Okay, this is the content. If I grep it, if I grep DevOps engineer, okay, grep means check the content inside the file. Then you can see there is a line there. Okay, and these two are very powerful. Okay, now, yeah, okay, update it. If I check git diff, then you can see our line is updated. Now I don't need to push these changes. This is not a git workflow. Okay, now we need to build another docker image with version v2. Just remember this v2. We are just building docker another v2 with the same docker file. Nothing, docker file doesn't change right now in our case. It might change later. It might change some in different workflow. It might change for example, some we have to add some dependency to include to include new packages, okay, new framework. Then we might need to update our docker file accordingly. But here in our demo, we don't need it. Now I'm building it the v2 docker images. v2 is here, guys. Okay, updated one. Now let me quickly run v2 in my local machine. Okay, let me quickly run my local machine. So here if you see docker ps, okay, this is that. Let me quickly remove this. Okay, docker docker rm-f. Okay, now this will not run. Why? Because I remove that container. How this will run, right? I remove the container itself. I remove that nginx container itself. Okay, now where is that command? Okay, docker run this one, right? Now v2. Okay, we have v2 updated one. I am running this now. Okay, now docker ps, this is checking the local, right? Okay, this is checking the local. Now this should run with updated one. Senior DevOps engineer, guys. I'm become the senior now. Okay, guys, great. So this change, whatever we did, the change is working. We are also have the required v2 tag. Now same thing, we need to push it to the docker hub. I'm copying it. Okay, and I am updating the required tag. I updated the required tag. Okay, you can see here. And now I am pushing the image to docker hub. Now you can see, now if I go here in my web cv, okay, in my web cv, okay, then what will happen? I will have two tags. v1 is here. Okay, v1 is here. I have second tag as well. Okay, you can see this. Now If I go here, if I just get this, but again definitely our port will mismatch. Okay, so I have to remove the old container. Okay, that is web cv1. I can take a container id or container name. So rm hyphen f, because it is running web cv1. I removed it, and now same stuff, docker run web cv2. Okay, this is exactly same thing. Okay, okay, I'm running as a, taking the role as a ci here and doing everything manually rather than happening automatically. Web cv2 hyphen d hyphen p, same. Okay, and then only v2, and then it is getting new local new images. Okay, you can see this. What docker says that, hey Dhanu sir, you already have some the images layer. There is only one layer that updated, and I will only pull that content. Okay, so it's not pulling everything. Okay, think of this, the VM case where you need to pull every os ISO, which is of 3 GB, 4 GB, 5 GB. Imagine that. Here Docker knows very intelligently that you already have 7 layers already. Okay, why I don't need to pull that again. I will just pull that much which is different, which is updated. That's why he pulled this, and now my container is uh, running. Okay, the updated version, and now this DevOps engineer, if I reload it, should be DevOps senior DevOps engineer. Okay, guys, I'm again senior DevOps engineer here as well. Okay, so I hope that you like this demo. Okay, so this is there. Okay, everything is here. Just follow this. It should be quickly followed in like a 2 hours, within 2 hours. Okay, so 2 hours of time is free for everyone. Okay, this will be released today itself after this session. Okay, this will be published after this session, and then you guys will be able to see this properly. Okay, and that's it. And I hope that you got the understanding overview of how this docker works, and what are the components, and what its power, right? So whatever I showed you in this 1.5 hour, if you go with the VM and other stuff, it will take uh, like uh, like more than couple of hours. Okay, that's the power of the Docker. It saves time, it saves money. Okay, it saves lot of effort. Okay, that's why Docker is so popular, and it revolutionized the whole DevOps and cloud uh, industry. And some final stuff that we are working on Docker 101 course. Okay, and that should be ready like okay, that should be ready by in like couple of hours, and we will send you in your email that we are ready, and then you can also go through that. Okay, and guys, we are running a boot camp to help anyone interested to become cloud engineer. Okay, and we will make sure that you are ready in 3 months. Okay, so the enrollment is open now. You will learn a lot of stuff. Whatever we have shown this in 1.5 hour is nothing to whatever is there in the boot camp. Okay, the boot camp will start from 21st of August. It will run 3 months, but after 3 months as well, we have some support. Okay, we have live plus all recorded session, doubt clearing session, completely hands on, like whatever I shown you, right? These all are hands on. Let me show you. These all are hands on. This is called hands on. If somebody doesn't know what is hands on, this is called hands on. Okay, so you can see, like, I finished like in 1 hour 15 minutes. I finished whole demo in 1 hour 15 minutes. Okay, so this is hands on. Okay, so we have mastering Linux. Everything is included here. Okay, these are all the things we are like. The CloudYuga is basically training from last 6 to 7 years. Okay, and we have corporate trainings, we have individual training. This is the batch fifth. Okay, and this is not the first batch. We have already trained like 50 60 plus. Okay, students so far. Okay, both the student, when I say student, it's not only the IT students, it has the professionals as well who want to switch from, who want to switch their probably development career to DevOps. Okay, or they want to upgrade their system admin to some proper DevOps role. This is the shell course that is I told you. Git and GitHub for DevOps engineer, fundamentals knowledge about cloud and DevOps, what is included. Okay, and then the Docker container fundamental. Whatever I have shown you is probably the 5% of this whole Docker course. Okay, it has all the things. What is Docker APIs, contain compose, Docker compose. Okay, we can basically have like a different container running all together. How we can manage in Docker, how network happens, management happen in Docker. Okay, what are the different container images, tools or commands. Okay, then cloud, Kubernetes and cloud native. Then the most stuff is the main thing is Kubernetes, which is a container orchestration tool. Okay, so those things we are covering and making sure that you are ready for the IT industry, you are ready for the cloud engineer role. Okay, so these all are there. These are some of the testimonials, some of the hiring partner we have. Okay, we have almost like assignment projects. Okay, these all are included in this 3 months boot camp. Okay, and if you have any queries, okay, let us know.